All right, welcome back, everyone. While you were sleeping, a meteor shower causing a massive blast and injuring at least 500 people. The meteor over southern Russia broke up, entering the Earth's atmosphere, causing burning fragments to fall off. And that's not all this morning. There is also a 150-foot-wide asteroid heading for Earth right now. Here's an actual image of the asteroid from NASA when it was more than 450,000 miles from Earth. CNN's Tom Foreman has the details on how close this will get today.
Let's get some reference points here. When we talk about the Earth, many of us like to think the moon is close to us. But the moon is really not as close as you think. It's almost 250,000 miles away. So what is close in space? Satellites. We've been launching these for many decades now, and we've filled the sky with them. Some of them are fairly low. Others are quite high. The highest ones out there are communications and GPS satellites, which are about 22,000 miles up in the air. So where is this asteroid going to be? It is going to shoot out of the sky and cut right through the top of the satellite belt at about 17,000 miles.
All right, an awful lot going on in the skies right now. So we're joined by Bill Nye, the science guy. He is in Los Angeles this morning. Bill, the meteor shower in Russia, the asteroid, some 17,000 miles away. I think everyone really has two questions here. First of all, is there a connection here? And is there a difference between a meteor shower and an asteroid? Help us out.
Oh, yeah. So there's no connection in a sense. They are independent orbits, but there's a connection in the sense that they are both primordial objects in the solar system that cross the Earth's orbit. They have orbits around the sun that cross the Earth's orbits. So by long tradition, the word meteor refers to the bright streak in the sky. So an object in space doesn't become a meteor till it starts burning up in the atmosphere. Now, it's interesting that these things would happen in the same day. They're independent objects, yet the Earth passes through about 100,000 of these things. The Earth's orbit crosses the orbit of about 100,000 of these things every year. We know about 1% of them.
Well,
so understand, everybody, that this 45-meter object, 150-foot object, 2012 DA14 is its designation. That thing would destroy a city. If it were to hit the Earth, it would destroy a city. But this time, everybody, it will not hit anything. It would just, there's a lot of space in space.
You're talking about the asteroid right now, which again is coming some 17,000 miles away.
So 17,000 miles, you understand, is closer than geosynchronous satellites. I mean, it's close. Humans have put objects in space much farther away than this thing is going to pass. So if you have binoculars at sunset and you're very skilled, you might get a glimpse of it. And I just want to remind everybody that we found this object. I'm now the CEO of the Planetary Society. We found this object because the Planetary Society supports astronomers around the world who are especially skilled at looking for these relatively small, relatively fast-moving objects.
Okay, Bill.
So everybody, we are the first generation of humans that could do something about it.
So, Bill, what then do we learn from this meteor shower in Russia, which has caused some damage and more than 500 injuries? What does that tell us about what we need to look out for?
Let me ask you this. You know this expression, if you jump off a bridge, it doesn't make any difference. The water is going to act like concrete, some very high bridge, right? You've ever heard this expression?
Sure.
Yeah, you can't, no matter what you do with your hands or point your toes, it'll still get you. Well, these meteoric objects that hit in the above Russia last night, or yesterday Russian time, were destroyed by the Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere acts like concrete. Wham! And it disintegrates immediately. The stuff, even if it's metal or solid rock, it burns in the Earth's oxygen like that. And this, for example, the DA14 or 2012 DA14 is several dozen times bigger than the nuclear weapons used to end World War II.
All right.
So we only know about 1% of them. There's 100,000 more of them out there that we don't really know where they go and how they cross the Earth's orbit. And so it's quite a concern if you're a thinking person. Science fiction stories have been written about this for good reason. So today, by the way, the Planetary Society is going to have a webcast. If you want to check us out around 11 Pacific time, and we're going to have the experts from NASA and the experts especially from Jet Propulsion Lab,
I think,
along with our guys.
Bill Nye, the science guy, thanks very much. I think we will all be looking now, especially after what we've seen in Russia with that meteor shower. Bottom line, though, the asteroid, not a threat to us right now. Still more than 500 people in Russia from a separate incident with meteors earlier today. Thanks a lot, Bill Nye in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, we have more now on that meteor shower burning up the skies while you all were sleeping. At least 500 people injured in Russia this morning when these meteors burned through the Earth's atmosphere. Phil Black live in Moscow right now for us. And Phil, what's the latest?
John, this event that we're talking about today only lasted for a few seconds, but the impact, the destruction has been so widespread and so dramatic. As you say, the number of people injured is now up around 500 or more. That is how many people Russian government has said have requested medical assistance. We believe around 30 or so are in hospital. A smaller number, around 3 or 4, we are told, are still in a grave condition. This is a result of what was a large meteor striking the Earth's atmosphere around 9:20 local time in this central Russian location, fragmenting as it tore through the atmosphere at high speed. But it was not the meteor itself or the fragments which spread out over a wide area that have caused the destruction and the damage. It was the sonic boom, the shock waves caused by this tearing through the atmosphere that has shattered so many windows and so many buildings and ultimately hurt so many people across a wide area, John.
Phil, I'm sitting here talking to Christine Romans, and the thing that we're discussing is this looks like a movie. This looks so different than anything any of us have ever seen when we look up to the skies. Is there any sense that there was panic there as this was going on?
If you look at a lot of the video that has come out of this region this morning, and there is a lot of it because Russians often have cars installed in their cameras, so a strange number of them have caught the exact moment that you see these bright flashes tearing through the sky. You can certainly hear the panic, the shock, particularly in the wake of those booms and shock waves that have struck people. You can hear the blast. They're really very loud. And then around people, just the sound of broken glass everywhere. So it's absolutely a terrifying few moments for these people who are going about their regular Friday morning activities at school, work, home, driving, whatever else. They were not expecting this. And certainly when you look at those pictures, it looks a little Armageddon-ish. It's sort of an expression that we're hearing this morning describing those events and the videos that we're seeing out of this region this morning.
Yeah, it certainly does. All right, Phil Black, what a sight it is. Thanks for being with us this morning. Meanwhile, dental records confirm that the charred human remains found in that burned out condo in Big Bear, California, they are Christopher Dorner's.